Hi students, I hope all are fine. So we were just saying about the author Vaikom Muhammad Bashir, one of the incidents that had taken place in his life about a snake and the mirror. So the last class where we finished was here that he was trying to sleep, but it was a hot summer night and he was hearing noise from the roof, and it was not covered and so on. Those things we saw the possessions of the author, all those things we saw. And this author was trying to sleep and he could not sleep because it was very warm, because it was a summer night. And what happened that at the time he got up, he just went out to have a kind of fresh air and so on, but there was no wind at all. So he came inside and he just sat in front of the in front of a mirror which was there on his table. Then he was just telling that okay, everyone feels a kind of temptation to look at the mirror if it is nearby. And we will see, as he was looking at the mirror also, he was hearing the noise which he thought was of rats. Okay, now in the and we shall just continue from where we have stopped. So the author was sitting in front of a mirror and he was feeling the temptation to look at the mirror. So what did he do? I took a close look at my face in the mirror. I made an important decision. I would shave daily and grow a thin mustache to look more handsome. I was, after all, a bachelor and a doctor. I looked into the mirror and smiled. It was an attractive smile. I made another earth shaking decision. I would always keep that attractive smile on my face to look more handsome. I was, after all, a bachelor and a doctor too, on top of it. Again came that noise from above. Okay, so the author was telling everyone feels a kind of temptation when they are nearby a mirror. So, what did he do? Now that he was in front of a mirror and he also could not resist this temptation. So, he yielded to the temptation to look at the mirror. So, what did he do? He just had a close look at his face in the mirror and he made an important decision that he would shave every day and he would grow a thin mustache to look more handsome because he was a bachelor and a doctor. So after some time he just looked at the mirror and smiled at himself. Then again he made a, as it is said, an earth shaking decision that he would always keep this particular smile on his face. Why? Because he should look handsome, because he was a bachelor and a doctor. So he was thinking about all that. At that time also he heard that same noise from the roof. Then what did he do? I got up, lit a beedi, and paced up and down the room. Then another lovely thought struck me. I would marry, I would get married to a woman doctor who had plenty of money and a good medical practice. She had to be fat for a valid reason. If I made some silly mistake and needed to run away, she should not be able to run after me and catch me. Okay, so he was thinking. He looked at the mirror and made some decisions, and now, as after some time, he got up and he lit a tobacco and he was just pacing up and down. At that time, there came a lovely thought. Okay, a lovely thought came to him that he should get married. So he thought of what kind of a woman, or what kind of a woman he should marry. So he thought he should marry a woman doctor and she should have plenty of money and also she should have a good medical practice. Then another thing that he wanted his wife to be, she needs to be a fat woman. And he tells a reason also. Why should she be a fat woman? Because if the author made any mistakes and he had to run away, she should not run and run after him and catch him. If she is lean, she would run after him and catch him. But if she is fat, she will not be able to run after him and catch him. That's why he wanted a fat woman. Okay, fat woman as his wife. So he was just thinking about all that. With such thoughts in my mind, I resumed my seat in the chair in front of the table. There were no more sounds from above. Suddenly, there came a dull thud as if a rubber tube had fallen to the ground. Surely nothing to worry about. Even so, I thought I would turn around and take a look. No sooner had I turned than a fat snake wriggled over the back of the chair and landed on my shoulder. The snake's landing on me and my turning were simultaneous. Okay, what we see here is he was thinking about all his dreams and he was making some decisions. So with such wonderful thoughts, he was in a dreamy land. Then after some time, he came and sat on the chair in front of the table. So at that time there was no sound at all, nothing was there. Suddenly he felt something just like a rubber, like a rubber tube. It came and fell on the ground. So he also thought there was nothing to worry about, though he thought he would just look back what it was. Then when he turned back, he saw immediately something just wriggled over him or ran over him and rested on his shoulder. Then he turned back in order to see what it was. Okay, the snake's landing and his turnings were simultaneous. Simultaneous means say they turned back or they turned to look at each other simultaneously. Okay, at the same time. Okay, together they turned to look at each other. I didn't jump. I didn't tremble. I didn't cry out. There was no time to do any such thing. The snake slithered along my shoulder and coiled around my left arm above the elbow. The hood was spread out and its head was hardly 3 or 4 inches from my face. It would not be correct to say, okay, before that, we shall just see this. So when this snake came and rested on the shoulder of the other was, of course, he was frightened, but he did not jump, he did not fear, and he did not cry out because there was not at all any time to do such thing. And this snake, it slithered along the shoulder and came and coiled, okay, just like a mosquito coil. Have you seen mosquito? I hope you have seen mosquito coils, isn't it? So just like that, this particular snake came and rested on the left arm above the elbow of the other, and the hood of the snake was spread out. Okay, means to say at any time it would strike, and that hood was about 3 to 4 inches away from the face of the other. So what a frightening situation it would have been. The other was of course frightened, but he did not show it out. Then it would not be correct to say merely that I sat there holding my breath. I was turned to stone, but my mind was very active. The door opened into darkness. The room was surrounded by darkness. In the light of the lamp, I sat there like a stone image in the flesh. Okay, now the author is speaking about himself. Okay, he said, okay, he not only held his breath, but he was just staying like a stone. Of course, his mind was very active, but if he moved, the snake would strike. Okay, snake would bite. That's why the author did not make any move. His mind was active, but his body was like a stone. And the door opened, but it was dark, and the author could see only a light that was there from the lamp, and it was like he was staying just like a solid stone. He did not make any move. I felt then the great presence of the creator of this world and this universe. God was there. Suppose I said something and he did not like it. I tried in my imagination to write in bright letters outside my little heart the words, "Oh God." There was some pain in my left arm. It was as if a thick laden road, no, a road made of molten fire, was slowly but powerfully crushing my arm. The arm was beginning to be all of drained of all strength. What could I do? Okay, the author was just like staying just like a stone. He did not make any move. At that time he felt the presence of God. Of course, if you have any difficulty, only we feel about God, isn't it? So this author also felt that there was a God who created the universe, and he was thinking, at least now my thought, even my thought should not make God angry. If God is angry, then the snake would strike me. So this author thought, okay, I should not make God angry. And what he said, okay, he in his imagination he wrote in bright letters in the outside his heart, a little heart, the words, "Oh God," means to say he was being with God, that he wanted the help of God. Then he felt pain because the snake was coiling, isn't it? It coiled the arm of the author, and it was just like a thick laden road, and it is said the author considers it as a molten fire, a road which is made by molten fire. Okay, and it was there coiling the hand of the author, and the author was losing all his strength or the hand, and he did not know what to do. Okay, so I hope what we have learned today is clear to you. Now the author was making so much imagination about his future, about his dreams and so on. At that at that time there comes a snake. It falls from the roof, and it stays on the hand of the author, and the author did not know what to do. And we will see in the next class what happens next, whether the snake would strike the author, or the author would manage the situation nicely. All those things we'll see in the next class. So we have some worksheet. There are 4 questions in it. You can just read through the questions and write the answer. First one, what was the important decision made by the author after looking at the mirror? Second one, what lovely thought struck the author as he was walking his room? What did the snake do as soon as it fell from the roof? The fourth question, what was the reaction of the author when the snake began to rest on his shoulder? Okay, these are the questions, and you can find the answers for these questions. I hope today's class is clear to you. You can write the answer, you can find the answers for these questions from today's class, okay, from this particular video class. So thanks to everybody, and bye.